Welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and another one of my regular updates on what I've been up to in the world of wargaming, and it's been a fun couple of weeks. Let's check it out. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I did one of these videos, so I thought let's get another one in before Christmas and before the end of the year, just to showcase some more things that I've been up to. Been a busy old time, so I've really enjoyed it. Actually, quite a few games, which is nice because the previous period there wasn't many. So let's take a look at some of the painting first of all, shall we? So first up, some more ACW. This time, this is 24 Confederate skirmishers. These were the figures I bought when I was at Warfare. They're Perry metals. I think some of them are described as civilian or in civilian clothes, and others as cavalry. I forget, dismounted cavalry. But I just put them 2 to a 4x4 base, just basically to show denote the fact they're in skirmish formation. And I'm quite pleased with how these have come out. I could use them as dismounted cavalry. I could just use them as sharpshooters for the Confederate side. I did the Union ones last time, so now I've got some Confederates. Again, based up, just using our standard Vallejo mud with some tufts put in. Also went hunting around the garden for a few appropriate rocks, which or stones as they're called at the real scale. Just cleaned them up and embedded them in there, and a bit of leftover sticks from sort of a garden fencing stuff that I bought from Poundland years ago now, and have been very useful service for bits of broken tree and what have you. So yeah, pleased with how these come out, and they're ready for the table to counteract the Union sharpshooters, hopefully. So they say variety is the spice of life, so here is something a bit different, and have something completely different. This is an American Second World War, I think it's a 75-pounder anti-tank gun from Warlords. They're all metal. As you know, if you've been following the channel, I've been working my way through some figures that Simon, one of my viewers, sent me. And also some extra figures I bought to supplement that I'm aiming to have a multifaceted use, shall we say. So for bolt action or any other 28mm Second World War system, and also potentially for Conflict 47, which I really enjoyed playing. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new version of that coming out, so I'm just collecting up the figures, and it was all part of the Plastic Cracks PCP challenge, or OPC challenge, as it's called, which is a sort of a viewer-led challenge to build an army over the course of this year, 2024. So I realised I didn't really have enough artillery or anti-tank support within my force that I put together for this, so quickly got this painted up. I'm quite pleased with how it came out. And then talking about lack of or sort of HE support for the American forces, this is again a Warlord metal kit. This is a 75-pack howitzer, I think it's called, which I think will be a lot of fun on the table. So I know HE can be quite dominant in bolt action. I felt I needed some support. I do like these sort of, when I played a bit of bolt action, I do quite like the sort of field guns, the little tiny HE firers, 75mm. I just think they're cheap, and they hit the spot, so to speak. So there you go. That's another one to go with the OPC army that I put together. So also, as part of the bolt action stroke Weird War project I was working on, I decided that I needed a few more officer types and other support functions. So when I was doing an order with the Warlords, I picked up this command pack, I think it's called. It's metal, 28mm American forces. You've got a captain there with his foot on the ammo box, an observer there on the radio, the walkie-talkie, and a medic with his stretcher. I haven't played version 3 of Bolt Action yet, but from what I've seen Travis and others play, it appears that officers are more and more important, and you need captains and things like that. So that's why I thought this was ideal. And I don't think I've got a medic figure, so that was useful. And observers are always useful for what you're working on. So again, painted up exactly the same way as I've done all my Americans. Maybe it's slightly bright under this light, but they'll look fine on the table, I hope. So next up, here's a whole load of Romano British Infantry. Specifically, these are the unarmoured pack from Victrix, plus a couple of assorted gripping beast metals in there as well. Yeah, really enjoyed doing these actually. Possibly in hindsight, I should have done them on larger bases. Doing them on the 4x4s is a little snug, especially when they keep catching the wall at back there. But you know, we all make mistakes from time to time. So, but yeah, I mean, technically, this is the scale that for Hail Caesar, this is how they should be: 4 to a 40 by 40 base. Now, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, my intention was to use figures for both Midgard and also Hail Caesar, the new Arthur supplement. I had a game of Midgard, and second game of Midgard, and didn't quite enjoy it as much as I had the first one. So it's kind of put me off a little bit on that. I will have another go at it, but certainly I'm looking forward to trying out the new Hail Caesar supplement. And either way, I need more. I would like more figures to allow me to play both forces. And I found I've got a whole load, as well as the Arthurian figures I've got, which I did for a Dux Britannia army. I've also found all the figures I did some time ago for a early Saxon force, which is I think I did for Saga actually, but also have Dux Britannia in mind for that as well. So I've got bases for those and put them together. So actually I've got a reasonable force. I think I've probably got enough now to do with these and some of the others that I'm just about to finish off. Probably enough to do a smallish Hail Caesar battle using the new supplement. So looking forward to that, and I will have another go at Midgard when time allows. So next up, another regiment for my ACW addiction. These are Old Glory 28mm metals. I painted them up and put the standards of the main volunteers on them. Not my favouriteest figures, Old Glory, but they're reasonably cheap for metal, and it just gives a bit of variety, I suppose, to the forces. And as you've seen, I've done an awful lot of Confederate forces, so I wanted to even them up a bit with some Union as well, and I had these in the stash and thought I'd get on with them. So probably people will moan about the blues, they always do, but again, they're under quite a bright light here, so they're probably a bit lighter than they really look like in the flesh. But there you go, main volunteers done. So next up, some more Confederate artillery for my ACDC, my ACW addiction. So these are, these are part of the new Warlord resin ACW figures. The first ones I bought actually. They did say they were going to send me some, but they never did. Probably for the best, because I've got more than I possibly need. But as I mentioned before, I'm not terribly keen on the Perry plastic artillery. Far be it from me to criticise the Perrys for anything they do, but I just find them a bit boring. So I needed some. Well, I bought those Second World War Americans, and I thought, well, I was doing it, I'll buy a box of these, see what they're like. And I'm really, really pleased I did, because they're lovely figures. They're Warlord resin, which paint up very nicely indeed. They hold the sculpts very well. They're super animated. I really like the poses on them. You get a battery of 3 plus a bit of rail fencing for your 20 odd quid, which I think is not a bad price at all. So yeah, really impressed. I will buy more probably, although I don't really need any more artillery. But, you know, you can never have too many, can you? So there you go, they're done. I've done them in the sort of normal nondescript clothing that I give my Confederates, a bit of butternut, a couple of them have still got their blue trousers they should have, and just painted up and based up in the standard way I do, with the Vallejo mud and the flock and the tufts. So yeah, very pleased with how these have come out. And finally, for now, this is a 3D printed, well, I think it's supposed to be a Watchtower that Martin, Seventh Son, printed off for me some time ago. There's this whole sort of mini diorama that goes with this, and he gave me he was having all kinds of trouble printing it out. But he gave me, when he was over here for that big game we had of War of the Roses, he gave me this tower and also a bit of the banking for it. I thought, right, I'll paint it up. So in my mind, it could also be a sort of medieval chapel, or even Romano British chapel. We'll see. I may have overdone the weathering just a smidge, but I really enjoyed doing it, if I'm honest. I fiddled around, used some various layering of colours and then some washes of different types, and used a bit of the green wash just to show where sort of rainwater might have collected, a bit of grime around the place, a real mixed bag of washes and what have you, and I'm really pleased with the results. So it'll go in the collection. As I say, I may use it as a chapel, or even a mini church in a sort of village setting, or a hamlet setting. I think it would work quite nicely, as well as being the Watchtower. And if Martin ever manages to sort out the files to allow him to print the rest of the model, I can always use it as intended, as a sort of little mini keep Watchtower type thing, which is what it was originally designed for. So yeah, very happy with it. Nice bit of terrain to finish off. So yeah, reasonable amount painted. Continuing with the ACW addiction, I've still got quite a lot of figures to paint up in the stash for them, so I'll probably keep working my way through, interspersing them in with other projects. I have to say, I've also got a little bit back into the medieval period again, so the War of the Roses. I wanted to head more into the Ancients direction, but not really finding a rules set that I want to really work on. So however, I'm currently, as I filmed this video, doing a test of the new War of the Roses supplement from Warlords, and actually really enjoying it, and remembering how much I enjoy the period as a wargaming period. The supplement's a little bit different from what I've been using. I've been using Martin's Seventh Son adaptation of Hail Caesar. There's some nuances around this version which first glance I wasn't so sure about, but actually as I've played it, I've really thought I like it. And anyway, I'm rambling on about it. If you're interested, follow the channel, because I'll be posting a video of that playthrough, and also my thoughts on the supplement. So other games that have been going on this week. This week down the club, we're going to be playing a game of Napoleonic 15 mils. We're using some fast play rules, apparently, that one of the club members has developed, Lance. I showed some time ago a sort of another set of rules that he developed for the 7 Years' War, which were great and really enjoyable. I don't know whether I'll video it. I don't want to intrude on it. We're in a confined space. We're also up, because the Wargaming Club, every few weeks we have to go up to the upstairs room to wargame, and therefore it's a little bit more cramped, a bit noisier. And I don't know, I probably won't video it, also because we're trying out new rules, that nobody will know, because they are just Lance's rules. So I might not video it. Anyway, what I did video, and you can see on my channel, I'll put a link up here, wherever it is, one of these, I forget which side it comes up on, of a game I played with Jonathan last week down the club of, it was a kind of a combination of
epic pike and shot and standard pike and shot. So I took a book out of the standard pike and shot, shall we say, scenario book for the English Civil War, and it was one set in Ulster. It was between the Irish and the Scots, the Anglo-Scots forces. Jonathan took the Anglo-Scots, I took the Irish, although bizarrely most of my troops were Scots Covenanters. Anyway, doesn't matter. We proxied a lot of troops, and we had to sort of... I used a lot of my epic forces for it. We played using centimetres rather than the inch movement and ranges that the epics played, which I think worked fine, except for artillery fire. So part of the scenario is that it's a real battle set in Ireland. Actually, ironically, it was one of the first and probably only times where an Irish army beat a modern European army in battle. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, I didn't manage to repeat that. But yeah, so the battle starts with the Anglo-Scots firing a barrage from their artillery, and they have 3 light batteries in this game. Unfortunately, because we were playing at 15mm and using centimetres, they were out of range, so they never actually fired. I think they fired once in the entire game. So, you know, kind of, if we do it that way again, we might have to fiddle around with the ranges a bit, because that just seems a little bit odd. I mean, they were light guns, but still. Anyway, it was a good game. Really enjoyed it. Made Jono and I remember how much we enjoyed playing pike and shot, and both of us said we should do more. So follow the channel. You might see more of this. I know that Tony, another guy we got game with a lot, he's been working away on his epic 30-year war figures. I've got hundreds and thousands of them, so and more to paint up as well. So I think we'll do, certainly in the new year, we'll plan to do another big battle. Of course, the other big battle we had, or I had, was a couple of weeks ago down at the Newbury Study Association, and Newbury Historical Study Association, I think they're called. I was invited down there by Dave Brown when I met up with him at CrackCon a few months ago, and he said, "Oh, we must come down and do this. We're planning a big Borodino refight." I went down, and thanks to Philip, and because basically it's Philip's collection we were playing with, massive facility. I mean, made my table and my my game room look amateurish, but fantastic game. I took control of half of the 3rd Corps of the Russian army, right out on the left-hand side of the battlefield, and it was good fun. It was a day and a half of the battle. Fought out using General d'Armée 2, using 28mm Napoleonics. Mostly they were front rank, with a few elites by the look of it within them. Amazingly beautiful collection, and tables look great fun. It was a good fun game too. I did a video on that, so again, up here somewhere. I know a lot of people watch that video, and actually, funny enough, it's been one of my highest viewed videos this year, which is odd because I don't really speak in it very much, other than occasional commentary elements within it. Maybe that's the secret, Dom. So yeah, been good couple of games. So I think that will be the last game. Oh, and I'm also, as I mentioned, I'm doing a review of, well, not review, I'm looking into the War of the Roses supplement for Hail Caesar. I'm playing a solo test battle, which hopefully I'll get finished and post before Christmas as well. So if anybody's interested in buying that supplement, they can see how it plays, and you know, my thoughts on that. Anyway, talked about that a bit already, so I won't go into any more of that. Other than that, that's it gaming wise, I think, for this year. I might, if I can sneak away during the festive period, have a game here again solo. Don't know what that'll be. Possibly, I don't know, might be the Bruces in Ireland project. I might, I don't know, I might see if I've got enough Romano Brits and early Saxons, because I knew I had them, but I just couldn't place them in this stacks of shelves here. I had some early Saxons that I was using for Saga and planning to use for Dux Britannia. So I managed to find them. They're all based up on roundels, so they could go. I could use them for the Hail Caesar rules, or I could use them for Midgard. But that's good because that added to what I already have been painting. Probably gives me just about enough troops to play a smallish game of Hail Caesar. Certainly gives me enough to play a Midgard game. So if I get a chance, I might sneak out and have a game of that, or I might just do another War of the Roses using the rules again, and this time using the right sort of units, because I didn't read the details of the army lists before I played this game. So some of the units are a little bit weird for the scenarios. Anyway, never mind. So I'm waffling now. So in terms of purchases, I bought, well, you've seen them already. So I bought some Warlords, American Second World War. I bought the anti-tank gun and the howitzer and the officer group that you've already seen in the painting bit, because I wanted to add to what I had already for this OPC challenge, build an army, and I just thought I needed some more troops for that, so I bought that. And also at the same time, you've seen them already as well, I bought these new, relative new American Civil War artillery from Warlords. Love them. I think these are fantastic. They're done in the Warlord resin, and you've seen the result. They painted up beautifully. I really enjoyed them. Like the animation on them. Really happy with how they came out. So as I've said many times, the Perry plastic artillery, I'm not so keen on. I'm sorry to say something bad about the blessed Perrys, but there it is. So other than that, purchasing wise, I think that's been it actually. Well, I did get, I placed a rather large order of something for the future, which I'll talk about when that arrives. Other than that, I haven't really bought anything else. Oh, I did order some more War of the Roses, because as if I haven't got enough already, but as I say, I've got quite hooked on the period and ordered a few more Perry boxes, sort of going cheaply. So I've ordered those because I've got a view to, what I have noticed playing a solo game is I've got lots of Lancastrians and I've got the Stanleys, but I haven't got many Yorkist forces, and also I haven't got many mercenaries, and it feels like mercenaries play quite a big part in the supplement, so I'm going to work through some of those when they arrive. So anyway, I'm now completely waffling, so thank you very much again for watching. Really appreciate the support this year. I think I've added over 1,000 subscribers this year, which is amazing. Hit some, I think, 800,000 viewing minutes or so. I don't know. I mean, stupid numbers. I'm hugely grateful for everybody who watches, supports, follows, comments, subscribes, and does all that good stuff. If you don't subscribe, please do. It costs you nothing. Just helps me out. Makes the algorithm monster happier with Dom. More people might see my channel as a result of that. It costs you ziddly. You don't even have to hit the notification if you don't want. But anyway, as I say, thank you so much to everyone who does. Also to my patrons and channel membership guys. I don't do enough for you guys, and I really must do something. So huge apologies. I don't want to take you for granted, but also I'm not entirely sure what I can do to actually really say thank you to you all for putting a bit of extra money my way. Remains for me to say happy Christmas, have a fantastic festive period for those who celebrate, and for everybody really, have a nice break. Enjoy the time with your family and friends if you can. If you're lonely, you don't have many around, reach out to people. Pick up the phone, talk to people. Don't stay at home on your own. It's a terrible thing to be lonely. So, and if you find it a difficult time, likewise reach out to your friends. It's amazing how just talking shit about wargaming might make you feel better. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for all the support in 2024. Here's to 2025, and all the very best for you. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Dom, signing out.